Hi everyone, thanks for checking in. Today we are looking at the Gretsch Electromatic G... I've forgotten already. Oh, I got to mention these strap buttons are fantastic. We'll have a peek in there later as well and see what's going on. Some of you like that. You know, some of you find it immensely dull, but you can just skip those bits. It doesn't matter, does it? So hi everyone, thanks for checking in. Today we're looking at another affordable guitar. This is the Gretsch I got to do it again. This is the Gretsch Electromatic G5230T Jet with Bigsby. Yeah, nobody understands the numbers apparently. I've just done some Google research and even the Gretsch forums don't really get it. So the Electromatic is Gretsch's modern affordable range of vintage guitars. This particular one is based on the Duo Jet from 1953, which was released to compete with Gibson Les Paul at that time. So like the Les Paul, this was a mahogany body with a maple cap. It differed from the Les Paul in the fact that the Gretsch had a chambered body, whereas the Les Paul was solid. So I imagine that the Gretsch was always a lot lighter, which will have pleased a lot of people, and it certainly gave it a different sound. It also has a different type of pickups. The pickups on this are they're called blacktop Filtertron, which are based on the original. They're humbuckers, and they've definitely got a lighter area sound than Gibson humbuckers. And the control layouts is different as well. So what we've got on this is we've got a master volume, which controls the volume of the master, which is everything. We've got individual volume controls for the pickups. This one here is for the bridge pickup, and this one here is for the neck pickup. And we've just got a single tone control. And obviously on this one here, we've got a licensed Bigsby of some form, which is pretty cool. One of the reasons I bought this guitar is, well, two reasons I bought this guitar. One, I didn't have a Gretsch in the collection, and I wanted to have a look at, see what they were up to. And two, I didn't have a guitar with a Bigsby in the collection. Not that I really use whammy bars at all, because I don't, but you know, I thought I'd have a look. So, I got to mention these strap buttons are fantastic. Oh, I mean, they really are, because they just unscrew. You pop your strap on in, and you screw it back up, and it locks. So they've got standard locking buttons that are not rubbish, really. I mean, some of those locking things are horrible because you can't stand your guitar up on the ground because it sticks out about 3 inches and makes it fall over. But these are great. They're just like normal strap buttons, but they're much cooler and they look cool. And they just give it a feel of quality. I mean, this guitar, it really does feel quality. It's £459, so it's not a cheap, but it's definitely an affordable guitar. I mean, it still knocks the spots off the Epiphone Les Pauls in terms of cost. I'm just looking at them. They're much more. I think they're 500 and something now. So construction, I've gone into that. It's a maple veneer. It's a basswood body, a mahogany neck, I believe. I'm going to check that. Hang on. Yeah. So yeah, the neck's made of mahogany. This model, I think, has a laurel fingerboard, and I know earlier they were making them. They were putting walnut or laurel or something like that on the fingerboard, which is a really nice looking kind of wood. It's kind of got the look of ebony about it, which is quite cool. This is made in China, this one. So it's got the reproduction Shala type tuners on it. It's got a thin neck on this. which is nice. It's got a nice thin, feels nice. We'll do the measurements. We'll do a little data sheet, so we'll put the measurements of the neck, and we'll measure the pickups, the output, and have a look at it. It's got, obviously, the back. It's you can see quite clearly it's 3 pieces of wood. Control cavities for all the switching. So we'll have a peek in there later as well and see what's going on. Pretty much nice gloss finish. It's a nice looking guitar. It's got a nice weight as well. If the scales that I've ordered turn up in time, we'll weigh it as well. I'm going to try and start weighing guitars as well. Try and include a little bit more data going forward, because I think we've been a little bit lacking with that. And some of you like that. You know, some of you find it immensely dull, but you can just skip those bits. It doesn't matter, does it? It's definitely looks the part. It really compares well to the vintage Duo Jet in terms of these neoclassical, do they call them? These neoclassical fretboard inlays. I mean, how cool are they? And they do hark back to the original. The switches here, they've got the Gretsch logo on them. They feel great. I don't know if they're plastic or, imagine they must be plastic, but do you know what? I don't know if they are. They feel really, no, I don't think they're, I think they're proper metal knobs. They feel great. Electromatic bridge, so I don't know how stable the Bigsby, the tuning would be with the Bigsby. It's I don't think a Electromatic bridge and a Bigsby really go together, because the slots aren't really designed for movement of a string. You know, I'm sure it would be okay with, you know, very gentle warbling, but you know, don't go trying to dive bomb on a guitar like this. It's not going to work. So cool. I mean, it looks great. It really looks the part. Now, the great thing about this Gretsch Electromatic is it's got Gretsch on the headstock. It's got all the DNA. It looks the part. It's just made in China, so it's cheaper. It sounds great as well, and as you'll see in a minute once I've stopped waffling. But I got it and I thought, oh yeah, that's really nice. I really want the expensive version of this in my collection. I've got a small but nice collection of custom shop guitars, like high-end R8s and R4 Gibsons, and I thought it'd be really nice to get the 59 reissue, the Gretsch Duo Jet, to add to that. I pretend it's an investment, but really it's just an addiction that's a bit out of control sometimes. So I got this guitar nice and cheap, I think I was cheap, it was £429 I paid for this. I thought, that's brilliant, I really like that. It sounds great, it feels great. Let's get the custom shop version, or Gretsch's equivalent to the custom shop version. So I went out and paid, I won't tell you how much, it's embarrassing. Nowadays, the 59, I'm just looking over there at my notes. I've got a big whiteboard over there with some notes on it. So if you catch me looking, I'm cheating. There's a player's version of the Duo Jet these days, which you can get for about £2,000. Then there's the vintage 59 version, which is a step up from that, which has got more, you know, vintage corrected. I think the only difference really is, I think, the bridge. And that was between £2,500 and £3,000, I think it was. So I went and got that. I literally brought it back to the studio and unpacked it, had a little play. And you know, honestly, I didn't like it as much as this one. It didn't feel right. One of the main things that concerned me about it was it had a floating bridge. So it had the old Gretsch Space Control bridge, which has got thumb wheels, so you can adjust the string spacing, and it sits on a wooden block, and that wooden block isn't pinned. And what I found, and you know, this is just again, it's a personal thing. My style of playing, I lean on the bridge heavily when I'm playing. I use a lot of palm muting, and I'm always on that. That's no good if the bridge is floating, because you're constantly moving it out of the way and putting the intonation in the tuning out. So it didn't work for me at all. I was completely underwhelmed with that particular expensive guitar, so actually I took it back. It's one of the few guitars. I took it back the next day and got my refund. And I've been happy with the affordable version ever since, to be honest with you, and that's taught me a lesson as well, I hope. What a lovely little guitar this is, and this is one I think I'll definitely hang on to. Let's, shall we see what it sounds like? So today we're using the Vox AC15 C1, which I guess is the sort of thing they would have used back then with Gretches. So the amp's bright anyway, but obviously straight away you can hear that the guitar's quite bright on that neck pickup. And on the bridge pickup, let's have a mess around, see what we can get out of it. I really like this guitar. It does everything that a Les Paul does, but it just feels nice. It feels, I don't know, it's something I like about this. I definitely think I'd like to compare this with an Epiphone Les Paul. I think I'm going to try and do that. It feels great. It feels great to play. I mean, I love playing it. I didn't touch the Bigsby, as you can see. But I mean, see if we're still in tune as well. I mean, considering the hammering I just gave it, that's pretty good, isn't it? So let's have a look at some data and see what's going on. Now onto the neck measurements. The width at the nut is 1.715. The depth at the first fret is 0.883. The width at the 12th fret is 2.074. And the depth at the 12th fret is 0.895. Now onto the pickup measurements. And the neck pickup measures 4.18. And the bridge pickup 4.30. So they are fairly low output pickups, these, which is probably why they give quite a nice, light, airy sound. Onto the control cavities. Yeah, as you can see, it's all hand wired, nice full-size pots all round. And actually, what you can also see here is the chambering. It's quite substantial. It's almost like it's a thin line guitar without the F-holes. You get one of these. I shall be keeping this guitar.